Rosharon. Whatever you want to call it, we call it home. And if you'd like to call it home as well, or if you already call it home, this is the place that you want to be locked in. You want to make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell button so you can be in the know on everything that's going on in the 77583 area, which consists of Rosharon and Iowa Colony.
My bed, taking a moment to rest, feeling stressed out. Give it a good, I put that on God when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go walk.
On this channel, we are going to cover everything that is Rosharon, Texas and Iowa Colony. We're going to take you to all of the communities, community events, and all of those sorts of things. Again, this page is about Rosharon and Iowa Colony, family, community, and real estate. We hope you enjoy. Rosharon is an unincorporated community that's split between Fort Bend County and Brazoria County. So depending on wherever you're living in Rosharon, you could be either in one or the other, Fort Bend or Brazoria County. I'd like to first discuss with you my first dealings with Rosharon. So I've been a resident of Rosharon since 2006. And when I moved here, I moved my entire family here. So my mom, my nieces, my nephew, sister, my daughter, and eventually my husband. I've broken Rosharon up into 3 different sections. There's Old Rosharon, which is off of FM 521 and 1462. So there you have a lot of custom homes on acreage. You have some communities within those areas as well. You have a lot of manufactured home living. So that's Old Rosharon to me, off of the county roads as well. That's what we consider Old Rosharon. Then there's New Rosharon. And New Rosharon is halfway in between New Rosharon and Iowa Colony. And that is going to involve some of Sterling Lakes, some of Sierra Vista. That's New Rosharon. And then there's the Highway 6 Rosharon for places like Lakes of Savannah and those things. So those are the 3 parts that I've broken Rosharon up into. And so that kind of helps me understand when someone calls and says, hey, I am interested in this area called Rosharon. Then I ask them questions to see exactly what part of Rosharon they're interested in. Also, I want to mention that Rosharon has great schools. Now keep in mind, as I stated earlier, Rosharon is split between 2 counties, Fort Bend and Brazoria County. So obviously those are 2 different school districts. But in future videos, we're going to be going over the schools. We have plenty of churches. We have in Rosharon a volunteer fire department. Some of Rosharon is in a flood zone A, which we'll talk about. We'll have a future video on flooding in Rosharon as well, and Iowa Colony. And we'll go all the way back to Hurricane Harvey. I'm going to share with you some stills and some videos of the areas during that time. We also have plenty of churches, the biggest church being Word of Restoration, but we have several other churches in Rosharon and Iowa Colony. We also have storage facilities for you because a lot of people out here have boats and RVs, and depending on what community you live, that may not be allowed within the community. We have space for 18-wheeler parking as well. So we do have a lot of people who are truck drivers that live within the communities that the HOAs don't allow for 18-wheeler parking. So we have areas for that. We have a skydiving place that we're going to be dedicating an entire video to. If you want information on news, events, destinations, business, real estate, and education, and entertainment venues within the communities that fall under the umbrella of Rosharon and Iowa Colony, this is the place. You want to lock it in, you want to subscribe, you want to turn on your notifications so that anytime we have a video, you are in the know. Living in Rosharon is a completely different feel. There's nothing like the hometown feel of Rosharon. To get to some of the grocery stores, to get to the malls and things like that, if you're in Rosharon, you'd have to travel to either Angleton for grocery stores or Pearland or Missouri City, like the Fresno or the Siena areas. For me, I feel like people move to the country for a reason. You know, they want to be out of the city. We're okay with driving to the grocery store and driving to the malls and driving to, restaurants. And it's not far. It's 15 minutes for me to get to a grocery store, to get to fast food locations, to get to the mall. It's about 20 to 25 minutes because I'm typically in the Pearland Town Center. If I wanted to go to Sugarland, it'd be 15 minutes or so more, depending on when I decide to venture out, because there is also, with a small town that's actually growing and getting more residents, there are growing pains. And I will tell you, and we're going to go into this in a future video, but obviously the streets, the infrastructure, that's still being developed. And we do have word that, again, I'm off of FM 521. And so where I am, it's a 4-lane highway, 2 for each direction. But in some parts of Rosharon, going down FM 521 towards Highway 6, more in the area where Glendale Lakes and Caldwell Ranch are, there's like 1 lane for each direction of traffic. And if you can imagine, during the morning times, during the morning commute to work or school, that can get a little tight. And then also on the way home from work, that can get a little tight as well. But if you know how to time it, then you're going to be fine. Also, one thing to know, we have a lot of county roads, and do yourself a favor, right? And venture out and learn these back roads, because it could help you a lot with trying to navigate your way around the high traffic areas. So that's one thing that I really, really want to impress upon you. If you don't get anything else from this video, when you're moving to Rosharon, learn the back roads. When you're moving to Iowa Colony, learn those back roads, right? Rosharon, Texas, Iowa Colony, Texas could be your best friend, because we have also a lot of green space. We have a lot of farm area. So I just love that. Even just kind of driving, down the roadways, I just get a real country feel with all the farms and just all the green space in general. It's very picturesque, very peaceful, very soothing. Definitely a place to really consider moving to. And again, in Rosharon, you have so many options in terms of where you want to live. You can live in a community that houses custom homes. You can live in a community like a subdivision that's HOA. You can live on land that there's no restrictions, no HOA. There's something for everyone. So if you require a little bit more land, this is the place that you're going to want to be. But also keep in mind that we're not far from a Sam's, we're not far from a Costco. So because we don't have the luxury of just taking a 10-minute drive to get to the grocery store, Costco and Sam's is going to come in handy for you. But as time progresses, we are going to get those conveniences. But for now, I like the fact that we have to drive to those things. We don't live in the center of those things. So yeah, that's Rosharon. But you literally could see people, depending on what area of Rosharon you're in, you literally will see people riding their horses to the corner store. Like, that's hilarious to me. I couldn't believe it. You'll see people, again, depending on what area you're in, what part of Rosharon you're in, you'll see people on their 4-wheelers. A lot of people, especially down FM 521 and FM 1462, a lot of people, have cows, they have goats, and some people have chickens. So I really like that, like, small town feel. And, I love Rosharon. I'm all about Rosharon. I'm gonna give you the truth about Rosharon, but I'm never just gonna drag poor Rosharon. Like, no, the roads of Sharon. I typically call Rosharon a Rosharon, just because I want to be a little fancy. But you're not going to be disappointed when it comes to Rosharon. You're going to be happy if you decide to settle or start a business in Rosharon, because there's something for everyone. You just have to determine what conveniences are important to you, and I will put you in a section of Rosharon that will fit exactly what you want your lifestyle to be. So if you're interested in anything in Rosharon, the events, the business opportunities, like we said earlier, give us a call, hit us up on our website, send us an email. All of our information is listed below, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications for the channel. Till next time, bye guys.
Hey, 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 better way. Oh, hey. Mom and Dad told